help support our coverage using Blueberry, the community that gives creators the ability to make money, get detailed audience measurements, and host their audio and video. Get 30 days to try out the service using promo code Blueberry004. That's BLUBRRY004.
With that, our next guest is here. Hello.
Good morning.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing great.
Go ahead and introduce yourself for me.
I will. My name is Patrick Moreux. I'm the CEO of LiveDrop, and we are a startup from the Netherlands, founded 3 years ago. And we have developed an offline data transfer protocol.
Okay.
And that's what we're launching here. So we launched this last Wednesday by His Royal Highness Prince Constantine, the brother of the Dutch king. He was here to launch our technology.
Wow.
That was quite a moment.
Yeah.
And so this is our proudest moment after 3 years of hard work.
Makes sense. And your country has long been supportive of startups, particularly here at CES. You've long had good representation.
I think so,
upstairs
yeah.
And downstairs.
It's our first time, so we haven't seen the last years, but we hear great stories, and the whole booth is in orange. And that, because when you look around you, most of the booths are in white with a colored logo on it. And I think our booth indeed stands a little bit out.
Yeah.
And not only the color, but because we always have fun on the booth all together. So great bunch of 70 Dutch startups at CES.
Yeah, the four kind of traditional colors are black, white, green, and blue.
I think so. When we look around, I see a lot of blue.
So you jump out very different. Because CES's colors are all blue, so it's not unusual to see a lot of blue in the booths. But black and green, blue, white, and that's basically it. So
I think so.
Picking a different color, going with orange, your color.
And no credits go for me for that,
Yeah,
but they go for to the Dutch organization, of course.
It definitely draws the eye in a sea of sameness.
I think so.
Yeah,
I think so.
Great idea.
Yeah.
So how's the show been going?
It has been going pretty well. And I'm impressed by the quality of the attendees.
Good.
So, and also by the quality of the other exhibitors. And so we had good conversations. And when I look back on those 3 days, there was, I think, no one who I had a talk with. I had like, okay, there is not an angle, or so it's all quality.
That's awesome.
That's great. It's my first time at CES, and I'm really impressed by the organization itself, but more or less also by the attendees. It's wonderful.
That's great. So let's talk about the technology itself.
We will.
What are we talking about?
We're talking about a technology that we have been working on for 3 years. And we have a big IP stack on it, and it is a technology that makes it able for you to transfer data when you're complete offline. So normally when we communicate, we have some sort of connectivity. We use Bluetooth or Wi-Fi, mobile networks to communicate. But what if you don't have this connectivity? But if you don't want to make use of that connectivity?
For example, the ridiculousness that is this trade show.
Exactly, and that's wonderful because we didn't expect it, but we have some Dutch companies at our booth who work now with our app during CES to transfer data to each other because there's no use of an internet connection whatsoever. Yeah. So now they installed our app at a lucky moment when they had some internet. They had the opportunity to install the app. And now they use it on our booth to transfer photos, for example, that they take from each other to each other. So it works quite nice. And it works on iOS, it works on Android, it works on Windows and Linux.
Okay.
And so that means that it's a cross-platform protocol. So it doesn't matter, like of course, when you have an Apple iPhone, you have AirDrop.
Yeah.
Or when you have an Android phone, you have nearby sharing. And that's not cross-platform.
And a similar name for the feature on Windows.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't think of what it's called,
which
isn't a great sign.
No, it isn't a great sign. And so imagine a moment where you have like a file on your laptop that you want to have on your mobile phone.
Yes.
Scott, what would you do to get it on your mobile phone? What is your process?
So in this case, either I have to physically hook up the phone to the computer, or here, that's it.
Yeah, and when you have connectivity, you probably email it to yourself, or you put it like on Dropbox.
OneDrive or something like that, yeah.
And that's not so effective, right? It works, but it takes a lot of hassle. So imagine that you have a code, you're just working in your Office documents, and you want to share it with yourself, that you click the share button, and a code pop-ups on your screen. You pick your phone, you just scan the code, and then you get the information in, and just by one scan, you have the file on your mobile. And we can demonstrate it here.
Yeah.
I think because when you see it, it makes sense. So what I'm asking you, if you're okay with that, to make a selfie together.
Yeah, of course.
And let's... So
we're taking 30 of them a second right now, so one more is fine.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so you can see I'm offline.
Yes,
right?
airplane mode.
And I will do it like this because then
perfect.
you can see it also.
Yeah.
So I'm offline.
Definitely in airplane mode.
Definitely airplane mode. And then I have here my iPhone, which is also in airplane mode. So I can prove it by showing that my Wi-Fi is off, Bluetooth off, everything is off.
Yep.
So normally it would now be impossible to send data between Android and iOS, but also, of course, when you're offline. But now when we make a picture, so let's do that. Let's make a picture together. And when I want to have this picture sent from an Android phone to an Apple phone, completely offline, it would be impossible.
Right.
But here, when I press this button, this is where our technology pops up, where we have been working on for 3 years.
Okay.
So this is our technology. And now I can scan this code. So this can be on your laptop. This can be on a TV screen. This can be on a mobile phone, of course. And now, just by scanning this code, being offline, you see the data coming in. And now I have received a picture that was taken on an Android phone. I did it offline, and now it's received on an iPhone, and I can use it for whatever reasons.
All right. Going to get down into the depths of this.
Let's do that.
So, obviously, I see motion QR.
Yes.
So, are we actually transferring the data through the QR code?
It's not a QR. It's based on the QR principles, of course. Yeah, all the data that you saw, because you saw the QR code is moving, right?
Yeah.
And all the data is encoded into a data matrix. And it doesn't matter what kind of data it is. So it can be an Office file, it can be a picture, it can be a PDF file, doesn't matter. We encode that data into a data matrix.
Okay.
And just by scanning that data matrix, you receive the data.
In the app to in the app.
It can be from a laptop, a Windows laptop, or a MacBook, to a mobile app, or a mobile app to mobile app, or a TV screen to mobile app. It doesn't matter.
Do we have to have this app installed?
At this point, yes.
On both devices right now?
Definitely. So you have like a sending side and a receiving side.
Fine with that.
For now, that's what it is. And at the end, it needs to be in the libraries of these big operating systems. That when you have your iPhone, that sometimes you choose Bluetooth, sometimes you choose Wi-Fi, and sometimes when you want to do it real secure, you choose LiveDrop.
Yeah. Okay. How? So
the big how question.
No, I'm going to ask some numbers. So I'm a software engineer. I totally get what we just watched, and I'm fascinated by it. So it was super quick to transfer a photo.
Definitely.
Possibly faster even than AirDrop or something like that.
I think it is, and because you don't need an handshake.
Yeah, makes sense.
That saves a lot of time.
And I imagine it's looping, so that if we join in at any point in the process, it can grab the whole data packet.
Definitely, and it doesn't matter if you miss a frame, for example. So normally when you have like a sequence of frames that you need to scan and you miss some of them, which happens, of course, that's part of the process, you need to scan the whole frequency again. And with our solution, we just add some error correction to it, which makes it possible that 100% of all the data transfers goes well in the first time you scan it.
Fascinating. So how big of a file can we do?
We can do whatever we want to do. It matters how long you're willing to scan. So at this time, we started 3 years ago with 10 kilobits per second.
Okay.
Then we came up last year, or in 2022, up to 50 kilobits per second. Now the technology that you saw running now in the app runs at 250 kilobits per second.
Okay.
And in the R&D, back in Holland, we have now 750 kilobits per second. And that's a big step, because that means that we're heading for the 1 MB per second, which is similar to Bluetooth. And we expect to reach that in the next year. And then you can choose, like, okay, what is easier? Do I want to use Bluetooth and make the handshake and set up the Bluetooth connection, which takes some time? Or do I prefer LiveDrop, which I generate the code, scan the code, and have the information? So next year we can be compared to Bluetooth.
Wow. Obviously, it's in the market now because the people in your booth are using it.
We launched it last week, the app. So, and the official launch was last Wednesday. So
Right.
now we have the free app available, not worldwide, but in the EU and the US, of course, Canada, and some Asian countries.
Okay.
And it's available free, but it's limited file size because we want the first experience to be great
Yeah.
and not needed to scan like for a minute. So we limited it to 150 KB. So if we have
Okay.
like a picture, we compress it like WhatsApp does.
Sure, sure.
We make the picture, we compress it to a certain level, and it's fine. And that means so up to now it's 150 KB, and in the future we will also have like a paid app that can be used for bigger files.
Okay.
But our product is going to be an SDK to have it installed, of course, in all kinds of applications. You have
Okay.
like a sender and a receiver SDK.
Okay.
You buy it from LiveDrop, and you integrate it in your great application, and that opens your application to all kinds of other receivers and senders.
Okay. We're going to be having conversations in the future. I've already got ideas.
That's good to hear.
All right. People are going to want more information about this. How
Yeah.
can they do that, and how can they get links to download the app?
When you go to the App Store, just look for LiveDrop offline sharing, and then you can download the app. So it's available for Android and iOS. And if you want to have more information on the business side, go to livedrop.eu, and then you will find all the markets that we are active in already, where we're now starting up our first pilots, like in healthcare and in defense, and of course in cybersecurity, because this way of getting information from a screen can just send information, and a camera can only receive information. It's, from a cybersecurity perspective, probably the most secure way to get information from a high secure system, because you're 100% sure that no malware can go back, because a display can just not receive something back. Yeah.
Each device is TX or RX. There's no two-way communication.
There, it's indeed it's what we call unidirectional.
Yeah.
Unidirectional communication, and that's 100% secure. And so we think we can change a lot of markets with this technology. And it works easy. It is easy. It's just an SDK. And so we are aiming to becoming a standard, just like Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, in the coming years.
Well, I've already got some places I want to put this, so I look forward to having more conversations, and hopefully the rest of your day will be good.
Thank you, Scott. Thanks for your time.
For sure.
Thank you.
Bye. The Tech Podcast Network CES 2024 coverage is executive produced by Michelle Mendez. Technical directors are Kurt Corliss and Adam Barker. Associate producers are Nancy Ertz, Clinton Millsap, Sergio Velasquez, and Terry Willingham. Voiceover by Aaron Hurst. Our hosts are Marlo Anderson, Don Bain, Todd Cochran, Scott Ertz, and Christopher Jordan. Studio and equipment are provided by PLUGHITZ Productions. This has been a Tech Podcast Network broadcast, copyright 2024.